The play Echoes at the Urbanite Theater tells the story of two women who led very similar lives nearly 200 years apart. It shows in a very sad fashion that we have really changed very little in this world over the years. Actors Kate Berg and Maury Vial Golden are here to share the very sad story and to tell us what happened over these 200 years. Did I get your name right?
Yes.
Oh, I'm so proud.
You did it.
Wow, I
You
did it. Even after the Jell-O shots.
Yeah.
So two women sharing very different experiences. Tell me about your characters.
Yes. Okay. Well, my character is Samira. She is a modern-day Muslim schoolgirl living in Ipswich, England, who eventually becomes radicalized and runs away to become a jihadi bride of an ISIS soldier in Syria.
Wow. And you are 200 years before her?
Yes. So Tilly is in 1840, also in Ipswich, England, and she is sent to British-occupied Afghanistan to be the wife of a British soldier.
So what kind of struggles do you share?
All sorts.
Yes.
Yeah, basically the play is exploring how both of these characters navigate their way through these very oppressive, violent, male-dominated landscapes. So a lot of the similarities have to do with their encounters with men in these worlds that they enter, and how they sort of come to terms with the fact that things do not actually play out in reality the way that they think they will.
Are they abused? Are the women abused?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. In all sorts of ways, and that's sort of what it's exploring. I mean, these characters go through very extreme versions of abuse, but the play is also just showing how women across generations go through different versions of abuse, not necessarily to this extreme.
And it sounds so much like what's going on today. Do you see a similarity there with what happened 200 years ago and what's happening today?
Yes, especially with Tilly, because she is so far removed, seemingly, from modern day, but
Yeah.
a lot of what she's dealing with is stuff that's happening right now around the world, even in this country, about what happens when people have power and what they do with it, and who they use it to oppress, and so it's very, very relevant today.
Do you find yourself thinking, how have we not evolved? I mean, when I read the backstory behind the show, I thought, really? How have we not evolved?
In some ways, it's made me think about the fact that even this voice is being heard, that speaks to how much we've changed, and that this story in that time would never have been
Good
told,
point.
never
Yes.
have been heard.
Sure.
And now, Tilly is a fictionalized character, but she's based on real women, and now those women get a voice.
Do you think there's hope in the future that it's going to change?
Yes,
Yeah,
I think so,
absolutely.
and
That's
I
good to
think
hear.
I think also it speaks to what Kate was just saying, that these stories are being told. We've talked about how we wish that this story wasn't as relevant as it still is, but since it is, we're really happy to be telling this story as a form of art.
Because we watch and say, why didn't they stand up for themselves? And yet it's happening all around us today.
And Brendan, as you directed, but you're also
That's right.
one of the artistic directors. When you chose this show, you had to have chosen it so far back.
Yeah, about a year ago. So it was one of those plays that about a year ago, it felt relevant. It felt, especially because of our connection to the conflict in the Middle East today. ISIS obviously is still a big news story. But it is one of those plays that over the last year just grew so much in relevance. And in a way, it's sort of unfortunate that it's more relevant today than it was a year ago, but it's so much more important and impactful. People are leaving the theater absolutely speechless, in tears, very moved. It's one of our most moving shows I think we've done in quite some time. So it's an important piece.
What do you hope they take away from it when they walk out that door?
Well, it's funny, you said something about women standing up for themselves, and I think what's special about this play is that actually you do get to see these two women stand up for themselves.
Oh, good.
And it's not glamorous, but they do kind of get to tell their story on their own terms. So that is what I hope that the takeaway is, people seeing women empowered despite the centuries of oppression that they've gone through.
This is what we want to see. Thank you, guys. It sounds like a great show. And don't miss it. It is at the Urbanite Theater. It's going to be playing through December 17th. You can go to their website for ticket information.